So, please bear with me because saying this guy's name is going to be hard to keep a straight face. I'm going to just, will Mr. Peterson come up here, please? I cannot say his first name, I'm sorry, I can't.
Hey Charlie, I need you up here too. We're not going to do this alone.
Looks like the lights are
You know, I don't think anybody really knows when the legend of Charlie Flynn really started. But I think it started maybe when you were 5 or 6 months old. I did find a picture of you, and I would like you to pass these around so the rest of them can see it. There's 4 copies, so just pass it around. But when you get this copy of this picture, you'll begin to realize when the legend of Charlie Flynn really started. This is his baby picture when he was, I think, 5 or 6 months old. Now, I didn't know Charlie when he was that age. I met Charlie many years later. But I learned that there really is a legend behind Charlie Flynn. And the first time I met Charlie, you know, my first thought was, wow, what a character. But I liked him. And we had a lot of fun together. And as a matter of fact, we had so much fun together that I began putting a journal together of all the times we spent together. And over the years, it's kind of grown into a book. Charlie, can you help me here? Just pull that out. It's heavy, isn't it? This is the Journal of Charlie Flynn. I call it, well actually this is volume 2. It's heavy, isn't it? Yes. This is volume 2. Volume 1 is a little thicker and heavier. It's an alphabetical listing of all of Charlie's friends. Anyway, I've got to put this down here. I call this Travels with Charlie. Now, I stole the title from John Steinbeck, and as you recall, John Steinbeck wrote the book, and it was a story of when he traveled across America with his little French poodle called Charlie. And there's a lot of similarities between that little dog and Charlie Flynn. Now, I know this doesn't look like it's going in the right direction here. But on the other hand, there are some differences between you, Charlie Flynn, and Charlie the dog. For one, you're Irish, and the dog was French. But after that, pretty much the two of you are the same. And the reason I say that is, when you think about it, a dog is man's best friend. And Charlie is everybody's best friend. But the other similarities is, have you ever noticed how hard a little dog tries to please you? And Charlie's the same way. Man, if you don't have a good time with Charlie Flynn, he takes it personal. He is really going to be upset. Just to give you an example, just one quick example on that. Every year, Charlie treats us to a concert at the PNC Performing Arts Center. And when you get down there, there's probably over 1,000 places to park. But we pull up, and there's like 4 of these little orange cones, you know, the ones they put on the parkway.
That's what you say, my boss is there.
Yeah. But you're retired.
I know, yeah. I still got 5 days.
Okay.
Look at Joe got 1 day.
So we pull up, And there's a parking lot attendant there, and he says, Charlie, these spaces are for you and your friends, and they're right up front. So then we go into the concert, and you know, this place seats 10,000 people. You can sit way out in the grass, and you can even see the concert, but not us when we go with Charlie. Man, it's center stage, 5 rows back, buddy. Now, the next day, you think I should be on the phone calling Charlie, thanking him for the good time, but before I can do it, he's calling me. And he's saying, hey, did you have a good time? Was it a good time? Did you think everybody had a good time? Boy, if you didn't have a good time with Charlie Flynn and you told him that, he'd be crushed. And speaking of good times, we're going to go through this book together, Charlie. Just open a page and I'm going to tell a little story about whatever that is on that page. Just pick a page.
No, there's nothing there.
Well, just use your imagination. It's just a big, heavy book. Charlie, just play the game. This is a good story.
That's a good story right there.
Yeah, speaking of good story.
You got it, buddy.
What is this? Oh, okay. This was, yeah, it was about 7:30 in the morning. I'm walking out of the house, and Suzanne, my wife, says, where are you going? I said, I'm going to a Yankee game. And she says, but the game doesn't start till 4 in the afternoon. And then she realizes, she says, oh, yeah, you're going with Charlie Flynn. You know, you go to a ball game with Charlie Flynn, it's not an afternoon get-together, it's not an evening get-together, it's a whole day event when you go with Charlie Flynn. And we meet at in the Penn Station, and then we ride the subway at the Yankee Stadium. And you know, riding the subway isn't the most fun thing to do. But when you go with Charlie, it's a real adventure. He's chatting it up with everybody on that subway. And most of them don't even speak English. It doesn't make any difference. Charlie's talking to them. As a matter of fact, you can't see this, but I'm going to show it to Charlie, and if you want to see it later, I'll be happy to show it to you. This is one of the, remember?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. If you guys want to see it later, just ask me, man. He's talking to everybody. Now we get up to Yankee Stadium, it's probably 10:30 in the morning. So we go to the dugout. It's our favorite upscale Bronx bar.
Wait, PBR on tap?
Yeah, PBR.
Oh, well then, upscale.
You got it.
$4, 16 ounces.
There we go, upscale.
Yeah, 60 ounces, ice cold half blue ribbon beer, $4, hot dogs, $1.50. So we have all we can eat and drink, or I have all I can eat and drink. And then we go to the ball game. And Charlie always says, get the best seats you can within our price range. And so I try to do my best. But I don't know why, because Charlie never sits in his seat. He is all over that ballpark. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we were there. We met an account executive for the New York Yankees, or Charlie met him. You know, when you go to ball games with Charlie, it's like Charlie going to a party with 48,000 of his best friends. He knows them all. And then after the game, it's down to Caboose, our favorite little hangout in Penn Station, where there's 4 waitresses there. They are absolutely gorgeous. They have great personalities. And we walk in there and it's, hi Charlie, and who's your friend? They all know Charlie. Let's do another one. Do another one. I mean, if you're having fun.
No, I'm having a fun.
Okay, good. Yeah. Oh,
This one right here.
yeah. The Lakewood Blue Claws.
Yeah.
Blue Claws, yeah. We always get our group and go to the Blue Claws game. And one time Charlie and I were there, we're walking to our seats and this guy walks by and he says, hey Charlie, how are you doing? And Charlie says hi and he calls him by his name. And I said, Charlie, who is that? And he says, that's my congressman. My U.S. congressman. Wait a minute, your congressman? I mean, most of us don't even know who our congressman is, and I'm sure our congressmen don't know who we are, but Charlie knows his congressman and vice versa. Well, that particular night, Charlie had these tickets to get us into a little restaurant upstairs in the at the stadium of the Blue Claws First Energy. And you know, you have to have your ticket, you have to go through security, and you take the elevator upstairs, and then you're in a little kind of private bar. Harry and Greg have all been there together. And behind this bar, just off to the side, are the corporate boxes, the luxury boxes. This is where all the big corporate mucky mucks entertain. We can't go in there. But the door opens a crack, and somebody looks out and says, "Hi, Charlie." And all of a sudden we're at the party. So we're watching the game, and again, it's all the food and all the drink you can have. We had all we could eat and drink. Well, I had all I could eat and drink. And the game ends, people are starting to leave. Charlie's saying goodbye to him and thanking him for coming. I said, "Charlie, once in a while you have to tone Charlie down. Once in a while you have to kind of discipline him a little bit." It was one of those parent-child nights, I think. And so finally I said, "Charlie, you're thanking everybody for coming and telling them that you hope they had a good time. You're not the damn host. You weren't even invited to the party." But we did have a good time. Let's do one more story. We're really using our imagination, aren't we?
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah, we really are. We're doing a good job. There's something down there, isn't there?
Yeah.
This was Charlie as a 2010 Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Belmore. Oh,
Yes!
Man, yes, what a fun time that was. Charlie's all dressed up. He's got his little top hat, his cane, he's got his sash, his tails. He kind of looked like, you know, the Monopoly man on the... There was Charlie. There he is. There he is, right there. Yeah. So the parade starts at 10. It's now 8 in the morning. Charlie's got to check out the parade route. So he's strutting his stuff down Main Street of Belmore. And of course, everybody down there's Irish. They're all out there on their front lawns drinking their beer already. And they see the Grand Marshal come. So we're invited into everybody's party. And it is the only time in my life I drank a 6-pack of beer before 9:30 in the morning. But we had a good time. You know, the stories of Charlie they really are legendary. And Webster defines a legend as somebody who has done their job in an extraordinary manner for a long, long time. Now, I didn't work with Charlie in the Parkway, but you heard what his friends, they are your friends, right? Yes. Sometimes I wondered a little bit, but obviously Charlie did a great job for many, many years on the Parkway, but I think the real legacy and the legend behind Charlie Flynn, it's up there on that screen. Charlie has busted his tail to see that his family was provided for. Their niece was in the car. I don't know how many know it, but Charlie used to get up at 5 in the morning, show up at 6 o'clock in the morning to drive the school bus, drive it all morning, and then show up at 2 in the afternoon for the afternoon and evening shift on the Parkway. He didn't get off till 10 o'clock at night. Then he went home. I don't know what time he got home, 10:30, 11 o'clock. I mean, then you're up at 5 o'clock the next morning. There's no time to do anything. We go to sleep. Well, maybe have a beer and then go to sleep. But he did that for over 20 years. That's the dedication. And the thing about legends is the stories grow in time. They just get embellished. Look, we're up there right now, Charlie. There we are at one of the points. They just kind of grow in time, and you know, quite honestly, sometimes you're not even sure if the stories are true. So I'm going to tell you one more, and I can't vouch for this one because I wasn't there. But I heard that one time Charlie was in a bar in San Francisco, and he turned to the guy next to him and he says, "Do I detect an accent? Are you from New Jersey?" And the guy says, "Well, I'm Irish, but I grew up in Jersey City."
That's it.
And Charlie
Game
said,
over.
"Oh my gosh, I too grew up in Jersey City. I can't believe this. We're 3,000 miles away from home drinking a beer, and I meet a guy from Jersey City." He says, Where'd you grow up in Jersey City?" And the guy says, "I grew up on Audubon Avenue." And Charlie says, "Oh, I grew up on Audubon Avenue too. This is unbelievable." He said, "Where'd you go to high school?" And the guy says, "I went to Snyder High School." And Charlie says, "Unbelievable. I went to Snyder High School. I cannot believe we're sitting in the bar 3,000 miles from home and I'm meeting a guy from my same high school. When did you graduate?" And the guy says, "1977. And Charlie says, oh, I too graduated in 1977. I cannot believe this. Just then the bartender walked by, shook his head, mumbled under his breath, and he said, it's going to be a long night. The Flynn twins are drunk again. But really, I think it's probably time we turn around one of Charlie's favorite phrases. How many times have you heard him say, you're the best? We've heard it a few times tonight. Yep. You're the best. But it's time to turn it around now, Charlie, and say, no, you're the best. Love you, man.
You're my hero, buddy.
Dick, you're the best.